and I just got burnt out and stopped. That was right when they started the Tomorrowverse. You know what I'm talking about with that? Like they kind of reset it, they revamped or whatever. There's a new timeline, and then they just ended it like last year. And so everything from 2000, I think, up until 24 was all one timeline, and they ended it with like a 3 arc Crisis on Infinite Earths. But it's apparently supposed to be a pretty good movie, and they go kind of into the multiverse again. Like apparently, like the old '90s Batman and Superman, world, the cartoon and stuff. Like
Oh, yeah, the animated series.
yeah,
Yeah,
they go into that world and stuff like that. So I'm slowly working my way up to that.
that's cool.
Hell yeah. So Randy, you like the Superman movie?
Oh, fuck yes.
Okay, good. I've been
Have
hearing
you
good
seen it
things.
yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I've heard everyone. I liked the trailer when they showed the
Oh
trailer
yeah.
for it.
No, I loved it. It felt like you picked up a comic book, like a random ass comic book, because there's some random shit in that movie. But at least it felt random. You know, you're just kind of thrown in the middle of it. So
That's good.
yeah, it definitely felt like
retell the story.
just a comic book, up on the screen. So
Yeah, there is no retelling. Like you're dropped into it.
yeah,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was wondering how many times they're gonna, tell us the origin of Spider-Man, Batman, Superman.
yeah.
Like the first movie. Oh, they're doing a new movie, but they're starting over again. So you get.
There's a quote or something that James Gunn has said about that where he's like, and he named those three: Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. I think where he's like, I don't need to see those guys again. Like we know,
We know
So
what happened.
yeah.
Uh. Well, welcome everyone to the 40 in Tennessee podcast. I'm Josh here with Houston and Randy. That's our movie review for this week. Thank you for listening. No. So you were behind the movie theater? Did you go?
What's that?
So you're at the movie theater, and anything happened behind the movie theater?
No, not this time, no.
So
I didn't go behind the movie theater.
it's one of my favorite memories of squatching, of coming down, and part of this is one of the times I came down. I got to the house, got back to Randy's apartment, and we were talking about stuff, and then Gato showed up. It was one of those moments where, like, we need to find Gato, and then all of a sudden Gato, like, knocked on the door. And he comes in, and he's like, after some greetings, he's just like, oh, Randy, did you tell Manning about the movie theater? And Randy's like, I don't want to talk about the movie theater. And I'm like, well, what happened at the movie theater? It's one of my favorite memories. It still makes me laugh. I don't want to talk about it. So when you're sitting
I
in
do
there watching a
remember that.
movie,
I do remember this story now, but I don't think that I ever got told what happened. I think y'all like dropped it off. It's like we'll talk about that another time.
me and Catman went back, basically went to the back behind the mall and followed the tree line
Now, why
all
did
the way.
you go?
What's that?
What led you to go there?
Because of there's two rivers that basically coalesce and like right in that area, and it should be an actual travel corridor. That's what we were thinking.
Mm.
So we thought we'd just go look in the woods and see if we could a sign or anything. And went all the way down, followed the tree line all the way to the river, and then there was no trespassing signs that we ignored.
Just go right.
And went right through them and went on the property that is behind where our movie theater is now. And there's a sinkhole back there. And so we got to this sinkhole. The Catman goes to go and crawl down in the sinkhole and look down in the sinkhole, and I'm down kind of in the sinkhole with him. And a rock just comes flying out of nowhere and lands right next to Catman, who's in the middle of this sinkhole. There's a little hole about just big enough that you could kind of like squeeze your shoulders down into to look. And there was no one out there with us. And we had Catman was like, well, I'm going to go see, maybe they might sleep down here, in the sinkhole. And so like but like we hadn't seen any sign while we were there, not really. So like it was one of those kind of like I'm not expecting anything.
Mm.
And then while we're down in the sinkhole, here comes this rock out of nowhere, which I don't know what direction it came from. It just was bam, down there and hits next to Catman. So
Yeah.
So it's always made me feel uncomfortable because if someone was out there with us,
You couldn't tell.
I'm
yeah.
really bad at keeping up with, I guess, people in the woods because like there was no one around us while we were down there. And I don't want to think, I don't feel comfortable thinking that our rural squatches in this area are coming that close to town. Although there's an area right across the river that's a 150-acre plot that's like still undeveloped to this day. It's still private property. And there are accounts of howls and screams coming from that patch of woods going back to the early 80s. Because I talked to people that lived in Kennedy Circle, an area that's like it's a subdivision sort of the Mount Leo area of our town.
Yeah, well, it's very grown up right there behind the movie theater, but then
Oh, yeah.
also in that direction, that's where Booger Ridge is. That's the name of the place, is Booger Ridge.
Yep.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, it just I remember that was one of those moments, one of those memories where we really had to sit and think about like how close do they come in? And like are they
Since then I've talked to people, we've talked to several people that have been here in town and had sightings.
like off the side of the road or something like that or up behind?
Well, one of the guys, the farthest one in town that I know of, was a man and his wife, and they talked about, I don't remember the road, but it's a road that if you drive on it, it connects over to the Civic Center area, to where
where our convention will be at.
Where our convention will be at. But where all the sports stuff is, the sporting arenas and stuff over there, sporting arenas, whatever, the ball fields.
Yeah.
That road there, it's right off that road that connects to that. They said that stuff was showing up on their cameras, their security cameras, and that they watched a large, they said an 8-foot hairy thing with its like body pressed up against the wall, inching along the edge of the wall around their house, the outside of their house. And this is like in town.
Yeah,
but if you
believe it's like right in the center of town, like that's.
But if you the only thing I could think of is if it's legit. If you look at where the bend in the river is, and then you look at where you take a straight shot and you go towards Short Mountain, what you could, you kind of have to go through that area right there. That would be like a travel corridor of its own in a weird way. But again, that's like right through the middle of town. So you'd be within a quarter of a mile of Walmart.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, we've had stories of people, catching like, it was breaking into their garage to get to like the dog food or something like that. I've always wondered if they show up and get behind Walmart or some of the mall areas of the restaurants and pick through.
I talked to a guy at a wedding, believe it or not, who said that it wasn't him. He was relating a sighting that he said that a coworker had, and this is a guy at the Amazon facility down near Nashville. Where is that exactly? Is that in Laverne?
They have multiple. So there is one there. There's one in Murfreesboro. There's one in downtown.
Maybe it's the one in Murfreesboro I'm talking about then, because the guy's from Murfreesboro that I'm talking about.
That's up in Joe B. Jackson, and it is.
Is it wooded back there at all, or do you know?
Yeah.
Is it? He said that his coworker said that he was going around about 2:00 in the morning, was going around with a flashlight, and he said he heard poop, poop behind him, and he turned and he said there was a big hairy man thing that was standing there where he had just jumped over the fence.
What the fuck?
And he said he turned around and he ran.
And those fences
said,
are probably like your standard, like 6 foot,
No.
like security fences. Just jumped on.
But that made me always wonder, like, and that's Amazon place. Like, what the? Are there dumpsters back there maybe that they was eating out of? Are there?
Maybe just getting in there. I mean, like, there's always been reports of people when they've had houses and stuff, and they're just like messing with it, messing with the house, climbing on the house. What was that? Again, one of my favorite encounter stories is the young lady sitting on her couch, and then the light turns on the back porch, and then all of a sudden a giant hairy thing lands on the back porch, looks at her, and then jumps off the back deck and runs into the woods. Like, it's like, what was it doing on the roof?
Yeah.
You know.
But another one of those encounters that we took, me and Catman took from a guy. What was that guy's name? Oh, he had such a unique name too, like Phoenix or something like that. I can't remember.
Nice.
But him and another gentleman was walking, and this would have been about a mile roughly away from where the other, people said they saw the thing on the security camera. But this is over near the Mormon church in town, on a road that goes by the Mormon church. If you just keep following it, it goes kind of into a bunch of pastures, and there's some trees, some forests and stuff. But they said they were going through the area where there are a bunch of abandoned vehicles, and you can still to this day drive past that area, and you'll know where they're talking about, because there's some big moving equipment that the county has basically just abandoned out there. It's just sitting there on the edge of the woods. But he said they had just walked past where that abandoned equipment was, and he said what looked like a shadow just steps out of the woods. And he said it was taller than me. And this guy I was talking to, is like my height, 6'4" or bigger. And says that this thing is bigger than me. And he says it comes out, and he said you could see it had hair through like the light, up ahead on the road. But he said where we were was dark. But he said there was light up ahead of the road, and you could see there was hair coming off this thing. He said you couldn't see any details on it. But it was this big, tall, hairy thing. And he thought when he was just talking to me and Catman about it, he actually was like saying that he thought he saw a demon. And I don't think he saw a demon. I think he just probably saw one of these things in the dark, and it freaked him the hell out.
Yeah, what did it do? It just stepped out and looked at him?
It just stepped out. That's it. It stepped out, and it scared the out of the guy that was next to him so bad.
I'm so curious.
The guy took off past the thing and left him there for a second. And he said he realized he was left there, and then he went running after him.
Oh, my God.
He told me the apartments that are down the road. He's like, we went to those apartments, blah, blah, blah.
That's just, it's always these weird, the thing just stepped out, and it's like, what is it doing? Like, what is this behavior? Like,
I always wonder if it's like a juvenile behavior, like young males basically being like, hey, watch this, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna
go scare the hell out of this guy.
Yeah, scare the hairless one. Watch, I'm not gonna be afraid.
Maybe that's how they impress their girls.
Like, honestly, like
you want to see how close I can get to this thing before it's off?
We've had those reports of like they hear something hitting the side of a house all night. And it's like, if you think about the reports from the park rangers at Yellowstone that talk about the hooligans that run through the camps, it's like they say it's like the juvenile Sasquatch tipping over the trash cans and stuff. But I'm like, the behavior has to be something like that, like running up to the house and hitting it. It's like very kid-like.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I think we're dealing with some sort of archaic humanoid or human. It only makes sense that these things would be acting like, similar human behavior.
Yeah. Especially the young ones.
Yeah.
Where are they going to go? Where they're told not to go. Like, don't mess with the hairless ones. They can't see you. They shouldn't see you. Hey, guess what? I'm going to go. I'm just imagining that one going out and scaring those two dudes. Like, not to discount this guy's report, but like a group of younger Sasquatch sitting back in the woodline, like snickering, being like, "Chad's not gonna do it. He like he's gonna run away." Uh, just like, "No, you go out and do it. No, you go." Like, here comes some.
Maybe that's why a mile down, a mile away, they're seeing them on the security cameras. Maybe that whole stretch right there is like, I bet you won't make it through there to Short Mountain.
Yeah, they're crossing. They're having races to see who can get across and not caught. Like,
yep. Go through these neighborhoods in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Sneaking through. It feels like the right answer. Like, that just feels like what the right answer is like, they're just like, it's young Sasquatch, like, goofing off. Out at night, running amok. We all did it. We all did it as kids, right?
Yeah. That makes me wonder a lot of times too if that's what we're dealing with, up at our primary site, is we're dealing with the younger ones. They're cool with us, and the older ones are the ones that are usually like, with the really hard knocks, telling everybody to shut up.
Yeah. What did they see? What happened to them to be like, stop?
Yelling seesaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yelling seesaw. Wait.
Seesaw. Yeah. When me and Catman was out in the middle of there one day, we'd been out there literally sitting in this one spot for well over an hour. Completely quiet, had no wood knocks that day, nothing. And then out of nowhere, there was baby blather. Like that, like in the middle of the woods. And then something goes, seesaw, like that. Like says, it sounded like seesaw, but seesaw. And then the woods went quiet again and nothing happened. And I really, I don't know what in the hell it was we heard. If you can show me bird sounds that there's bird out there that can do that, and I'll tell you that it was a bird that we heard. But it sounded by all, I mean, being a dad, it sounded like a baby just got bored and started blabbling. And somebody was like, that was either mom being like, shut the fuck up. Or I wonder if the little one's name is Seesaw.
Seesaw.
Seesaw, shut up.
We'll yell that when we're out there next. Try to bait him.
I have, like an idiot. I have. I love oh, yeah.
Seesaw.
Absolutely nothing happened. Probably out there laughing in the woods at me.
You're probably
you got to wonder from their perspective, what in the hell they think of us,
Specifically us out there, knocking and I when we stayed at the primary site and it was just you and me, I wonder what they thought of that, because that place was always full of people whenever it's used, right? But
it was suddenly not many people at all.
Then it was just the two of us. And our activity, they must have known we were looking for them.
Oh, they had to have. They had to have. You can't tell me they didn't. I think that's why that they were when they were doing the A-B section, they were knocking back and forth. I think they were just, I don't know, man. I've got a whole ton of woulda, couldas that we should have done that day.
I have racked my brain for years about why some of the stuff. I was I think I was a little bit scared, man. I mean, it was getting freaky at times.
It was freaky, but it was at the same time, it was it was almost like Spielbergian, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
you get so wrapped up in the moment of what in the hell is going on that you're not I need to go get a recorder for this, or I need to go get a file for this. You're just what in the shit?
And a lot of the time too is we didn't have night vision cameras, so
no,
a lot of the nighttime footage is hard to watch, because it's just lit by a couple very good flashlights. I mean, the footage is good with the flashlights, but it you can never convey I bet you people have experienced it being in the woods at night and then everything goes quiet. You know, it's eerie, and it's hard to like. I don't know, with a lot of the Bigfoot documentaries. I was like, some of these, like, people don't understand like how far out people go.
Yeah.
Some of these
Yeah.
researchers and stuff who do this stuff, you know, how far out they go, and like it's not just that there's possibility of Sasquatch. It's just dangerous out
Yeah.
there. Like,
Oh yeah. If we went out, you know, like in the middle of the night where we've went out before out there where we knock at them and stuff. If one of us ever got bit by a snake out there, man,
yeah,
that's
always
a
goes through my
bad
head.
place to be.
That's why I always wear boots when I'm out there.
Yeah.
Whenever we go out and do this, it's like hot, you know, boots and jeans, and like I don't care if I'm sweating there. You know, it's like that's like my primary like fear down there is like, you know, there's poisonous snakes and stuff. So there is those times though at night when we're out there and I'm like, mountain lion. You got to remember there's mountain lions.
I'm not worried about them.
I'm worried about it.
I don't want to sneak up on anything. Bear, mountain lion, anything. Like
That's the
what
other
I'm-
thing
I wouldn't want to sneak up on a bear, no.
like that's the one thing like that kind of freaks me out sometimes when we've done this at night is like, what if we startle something that's not Bigfoot, you know?
You remember we were actually out there, Mel was with us and stuff, and we were out there at the knocking spot, and somebody's like, I saw eye shine, and we literally just went ripping through the woods
Like,
blind in
yeah.
the direction that they said they saw eye shine. And if it would have been a bear, we would have been mauled to death.
I don't know. Maybe we would have scared him away. The two of us charging at him.
Maybe, yeah, that's true. Probably. Actually, we probably would have scared it away, but with all the noise we were making. But if not, if it had been one of those stubborn bears,
That was the
we'd
point.
have had a bad day.
That was the point during that trip that you and I had gone feral. We had gone native to the woods. Like, I like
Walking barefoot for like 5
yeah,
days.
yeah. The last few days we were running around barefoot everywhere. As I talk about, like, yeah, I always wear my boots and stuff. That part, I was just so used to being there. It was just like I didn't give a crap. I think part of it was too is like I can sneak up on them if I'm barefoot and I'm quieter. You know, you got to touch the earth.
Yeah, ground yourself.
But my other thing is like staying there, and there's times just like being on that site, being there alone, and I've always wondered if they came out and just played in the cabins. You know what I mean? Like, did they walk around and just go into the cabins?
I mean, there'd be nothing to stop them from doing so, especially
thought it'd
during
be-
the off season.
Yeah, like they got the whole place to themselves. You know, sitting on the swing.
And the Rangers, one of the Rangers has told me that he straight up believes that they come up and get stuff out of the garbage cans. So if they'll come out and get stuff out of the garbage cans, I don't see why they wouldn't come grab stuff out of if people left stuff in the cabins.
How does he know that?
Oops.
How does he know?
What's that?
How does he know that?
One thing that happened that was suspicious was they put a fence. This is about 4 years ago, I guess. They put a new fence in around the garbage cans, the bear-proof garbage cans.
Mm-hmm.
And then a tree was broken off about 4 foot up, and the tree came down and landed, and the tree literally landed on the garbage cans. And I'm not going to say his name, but like, you know, the ranger I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know who you're talking about.
He was like, it really felt like that was a statement of intent. You know, of like, you're not going to keep us out of the garbage cans if we want in your garbage cans.
Oh, that's funny.
And I told him, I've also told that ranger about, you know, the thing that got thrown that first day we were out there.
Mm-hmm.
The juicy juice container. I usually don't talk about it. And he even brought up when I told him about that. I'm like, I know that sounds crazy, and he's like, man, I'm sure they get stuff out of the garbage cans.
It's probably a gold mine. Probably a gold mine. Had something kind of creepy happen today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So about noontime, my partner Lauren, she calls me. She's at work. I had the day off. And I'm like, hello? She's like, hey, something just happened. And I'm like, what happened? She goes, I'm a little freaked out, but I need to tell you this. She goes, I can't explain it. So she goes, I just got off the phone, but she goes, what happened was I got a text message for like a doctor's appointment for Suzanne. Okay. Not Lauren. So she's like, oh, wrong number. It had, you know how you get those for your,
Yeah.
Doctor's appointments. Like, you have this in a week or whatever. But it was for like tomorrow or something. So Lauren's like, can't reply to it, whatever. Like 20 minutes later, phone ring. She picks it up. It's an automated, like, she doesn't recognize the number. It's an automated, or I think it said the doctor's office on it. So Lauren picked up, and it's like the automated robot, like, you have an appointment, this day, right? But the name of the doctor was Dr. Joshua Manning.
That's weird.
Now think about that. Lauren just got maybe a number mixed up with somebody's at the doctor's office, and they send this. But the fact that it came from a doctor's office with a doctor who has my name,
Yeah.
and it went to Lauren, she was like, I'm really freaked out right now. So that's the creepy thing that happened today. That was a weird thing. I don't know what that is. I told you guys about my evil twin, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So this is weird story. So I didn't know. So what happened was, turning 16, get my license, right? Like every American boy does, right? I go through driving school up here because that's what you have to do in Massachusetts. You have to go through a driving school. And they basically kind of handle everything, so you can get your tests and everything through them. So part of that story is a girl I was in school with at the time. She started like kind of part-time working at the driving school. It's like a secretary. So she was processing my records and stuff for my license, and it got pinged that I had like a warrant for my arrest in New Jersey. And she was like, she called me and was like, hey, we have this snag. Like, she's like, and she knew me. So she's like, I know this is not you. Like, there was like multiple counts of like joyriding and like Grand Theft Auto and shit like that. Right. So this becomes, I can't get my license. So my parents, friend of our family is like a state trooper. So he kind of looks into it to find out what the hell's going on. Because even the DMV's like, no, you just keep coming up. This keeps pinging. Like, this is you. So friend of the family, he goes through the system. He digs up some stuff. There is a Joshua Manning, same full middle name too, of mine. We look pretty similar. Very weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
We have the same social security number except for one number.
Oh man.
And there was some other weird oddities. Like, we were born the same time. Like, birthday was exactly the same. Like, everything was almost exactly the same. Dude, it was weird. But this dude was he was a criminal. And I have to keep, every so often, I have to like call New Jersey and get a new verification that I'm not him. Because
So the guy's still alive?
Yeah, he's still around. He did some jail.
Why haven't you tried to fucking like get in touch with this guy, man?
I don't know. I don't want to break the timeline.
Like you guys
You
like,
even live your life. What are you talking? Your kid's way out.
But then, this happened. There's a Dr. Joshua Manning. And I'm like, remember we had that discussion about cloning? You remember, like,
yeah.
has the U.S. been just cloning? But yeah, so that's my evil.
Oh my
twin.
God, yeah, with your kids, yeah.
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 My evil twin in New Jersey.
What would you do if you found out some crazy crazy shit like that. Like you're a clone. It's Orphan Black basically, and you're just one of the clones.
Dude, that would be wild. I would then have to seek out the other clones because it can only be one.
Yeah.
I
You
think
have to.
well, then I
you
would
have
look
to
around.
find out- Go ahead.
Well, I would like. How do we know you're not one of a clone? You know, you're not a clone family. How many other Houstons are there?
I don't know of any.
You know what I mean? But like, think about like every state has a Springfield as a town.
Yeah.
They just like replicate. You know, it's the same pocket of people, just in different. What if the timelines are here in the States? You know what we're talking?
You at the very least have to look at what this doctor like looks like. You have to look him up.
There's a actor. I became friends with him through Instagram. He's an actor. He's Joshua Manning.
Yeah. Jesus.
We kind of look a little similar too. So our new theory is Josh clone.
Yeah, I don't think me and Randy have this problem, man. It seems like just you.
No.
Am I an NPC?
Never
Then?
had this issue.
Am I an NPC?
I met multiple Randy Hutchings in my life, but that's only because my father named them all that.
Wait, what? You have?
Just like I've got multiple siblings named Randy Hutchings.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah. Because my dad loved his name, man. Loved it. He wanted all of us to have his name.
It's a good name.
Yeah,
So he just spelled it different for different kids.
there's a female, right? Like, isn't there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
How's that spelled?
With an I.
Ah.
Yeah.
That would
But
be
not
very
clones. I've never had a problem with clones.
Yeah, that'd be very confusing at family reunions. Like,
What if? I mean, I don't know how I'd feel about it. I think it would be kind of weird, but also like, all right. Can you imagine like there's a bunch of like that's how the U.S. has been like keeping up on the population side? You know how they've been really talking about. Yeah, well, not just me. What if there's I can't be the only one.
I think you are. That's what me and Randy are saying. Like,
I'm the only one who's been cloned.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to find out where this guy works. I'm gonna have to show up.
I'm telling you, man, Orphan Black.
I've not heard any other friends or family ever mention this. Just you.
Just me. You never had a evil twin in New Jersey that keeps you from getting your driver's license. Oh, wait. That's the most problems he gives me is usually something to deal with the DMV. I usually always have to come in and verify that, like, hey, I'm not that guy.
But again, you didn't name one. You named four.
Well, that's it. One on Instagram, like, because I'm in the film scene, like, they suggest people through friends. And there was another Josh Manning who's an actor. And, of course, I was like, well, I got a friend request him. I just found out about the doctor. You know?
We're slowly unraveling this. Like,
Like-
there'll be a fifth.
There'll be a fifth.
It's speeding up now.
That's part of my mythos, I guess. There's
We're gonna have to come up with a code word so when you come down in August, we know it's you and not one of the
That's
others.
fair. Fair. I have me and Lauren have a password just in case of. You know, it started out as a joke. You know, I forget what movie we were watching. It was like we always have to have a password. we take it pretty serious now. It's the password.
I would have to joke and say the wrong thing, though.
See, you got to be careful because it could be my life now. You could be, you could be a doppelganger that has switched out, and now I'm dead. If I hesitate, you got to be ready.
I didn't know we were sitting on this huge cloning conspiracy.
I didn't either until now that we've unpacked this. I don't know if I like this now.
You just have to ask the right questions. Right?
Yeah, right.
From now on, just sign things. Joshua Manning, filmmaker / clone.
Clone number.
Yeah.
Oh, you get to pick. You're the one coming out first. You get.
Oh,
to
that's
pick
true. I could be Prime.
You can be Prime.
The Prime clone.
but all of the rest of them were about it.
I wonder if the other ones are always like, "Who the crap is this guy living?" That I keep like in New Jersey, and I keep getting blamed for all of his
I
crimes.
wonder.
Like,
Yeah, I
sorry, you
wonder.
guys, for having to deal with it. Ones went rogue.
Yeah, that dude, he's the piece of shit version. I'm like a Rick from Rick and Morty, like fucking. It's like that. You know that guy eats his own shit, right? Oh, that'd be weird. I don't know. I think it'd be weird to find out, like, by the way, a bunch of you are actually clones. Like,
Your dad never did time in the military, right?
no,
Military industrial complex. Okay.
no,
Your mom?
nope.
Nope. Neither of them are CIA. We're sure of this.
Yeah. If they were, I'd be so surprised.
They're in on it, man.
Well, I mean, that's the grand conspiracy of it all, is that everyone's in on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's just in on the. Everyone's in on the conspiracy.
Or this amazing CIA couple that's been raising you this whole time. Just to say, like, all right, let's see what this clone does.
They had to have done that. I mean, they definitely like have separated like twins at birth and stuff. And
Oh God, yeah, yeah, yeah. The Nazis did that tons. Like, there's tons of medical stuff on it.
it's weird,
It's
man.
creepy.
Yeah.
Ugh,
The Nazi technology just like
fascinates me.
it is like there's endless movies and video games and stuff you
Yeah.
can make about, but it's just a weird.
Some of the stuff they were
Rabbit hole.
trying to come up with. I think my favorite was the round the corner gun, which is a gun with a bent barrel, so you can shoot around a corner. But like, there's been a lot of talks now about like the what was it, the bell,
Nazi Bell, yeah.
the Nazi bell.
Their UFO.
Yeah. Some of those stories feel like they're stretching it a little bit.
Oh yeah. Their occultic stuff, man, got crazy. Like,
That's specifically what I was talking
That's
Yeah.
that gets when I found out about that. That's when it gets really interesting. That there was a whole cult like
Oh, yeah.
department, like battalion.
about. Didn't they do experiments on twins and stuff? Like I thought that's
Yep.
where you were going with that.
Yep, they did to see if they could like initiate psychic stuff between them and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Supposedly did, according to the records that they kept. Like under duress, that they could make the one twin feel or like know that the other twin was in doing things.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like torturing the other twin at the at the time. Just horrible shit like that.
I'm sitting here laughing at that, but I'm just thinking of like Josh like communicating with. Like if you think
You ever get
real
feeling
hard.
pains, Josh?
I mean, no. I feel like they're just body aches. I don't know if they're phantom pains.
No, they're phantom pains.
I mean, yeah, they did some messed up stuff.
Twins getting shot and stuff, and you're feeling it.
Mm. I don't know. I don't like the idea of a bunch of me running around making fools of themselves, you know? Or I'm one of the fools, you know? Oh,
Yeah, they're like that Bigfoot one over
yeah.
there.
I'm Bigfoot, Josh. I'm the Bigfoot clone. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, actually, I mean, your CIA parents, they totally got in on this stuff. So
Yeah.
You always went to them and asked them about conspiracy theories, and they're like, "No, Josh, we don't believe in any of them."
They were like that, dude. Okay. There was I've always
I'm
been,
gonna make Manny like question his whole identity for the night's over.
growing up, my parents are very like, yeah, no, there's nothing beyond fucking Earth, you know? Like they don't think about that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So ghosts don't exist, none of that stuff. That's all fake. Aliens, UFOs, that's all hoopla, right? This was like 2 years ago. I was down for Christmas and stuff, and we were kind of sitting, me and Lauren and my parents sitting on like their back deck, just kind of having a drink. Dad smoking a cigar and stuff. And we're sitting there, and I was like, this is one of those moments. I'm old enough to just be like, gotta ask him some weird questions. But I was like, hey, was like, "What'd you guys think about the congressional hearing on UFOs?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "It was all over the news. Like they like every news thing was talking about it." And my dad's a like numbers guy. He's an accountant, that type of, he's like, oh, he just goes by the numbers. Of course, there has to be life out there. My mom's just like, you can't believe everything you're hearing, right? Which is what she told me when I was reading weird stuff or watching Unsolved Mysteries and being like, there's UFOs. She'd be like, you can't believe everything. And I was like, the government's telling us. But my mom, she was just so funny about it. She was just like, I'm still going to have to go grocery shopping. Like what you say, Randy. It's like, I still
She's
got
practical about it,
yeah. She's just like, what are they going to do? Are they showing up or not? She's like, I'm not going to worry about it until they show up. But I watched Missing 411, the UFO connection. And I actually like kind of watched it this go around.
How old is
this one just came out.
Okay.
I haven't seen this.
Yeah, this is like his newest one. Because he has, I think this is the third movie for Missing 411, right? There's the first one, Missing 411, then there's The Hunted, and then I think this is the next one, unless I'm missing one.
I think there's one in between there too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought this was like the fourth one.
Yeah.
But like this one gets into like, of course, the weird, all the setup. Basically, it hits the parameter for his like, Missing 411. I forget what you call it. Like the hitting all the check boxes.
Yeah.
But he talked about like there's an area that there are no like missing people, like this big swath in the middle of the US that like there are no clusters. There's no clusters at all. But in that area is like a massive like aquifer, like underwater lake. And like one of the encounters that he brings on is a guy who claims he was taken, and it's in one of these areas that people have gone missing and they've seen UFOs and stuff. He was taken aboard, but he was communicated with that the aliens told him like, hey, go here and make a well. And like everyone, he came out of this, he's like, he got really obsessed. He went and did it. And everyone, all these geologists was like, it's like solid rock there. You're not going to get anything. But he dug a well and he found water, like right where he said he was told to do it. And this kind of led into this, like, hey, the reports are like these underwater, people are seeing these UFOs come out of the water. They're catching them on underwater cameras by oil rigs and stuff. And then when he brings up this massive area, he goes, if you're searching for a criminal and there's like all these hit points, around the map, it's usually in the center is where they're at. And he goes underneath, that area is this massive like aquifer, massive underwater lake. And he's like, could they be there?
Oh.
Yeah, it was a good documentary. All his are, I think his son does them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does a great job with them. They're not like the ones the Bigfoot and UFO ones, and we're like, ba-boom, the disclosure, emergency release.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. And I enjoy those too. Just like, I have to watch like the Stephen Greer ones.
Man, I don't like Stephen Greer.
In the beginning, I did. I was like, oh, this guy seems interesting. But then I was like,
I did too.
His background, I don't know. His background seems really weird to me. And
he seems to me these days just like a UFO grifter.
Yeah, but like when he did, was it Close Encounters of was it the Phenomenon? That documentary?
I'm not sure. He's had like what?
He has one.
Six?
Yeah, he's got a ton. He's the emergency release guy. But like there was the Yeah, I think it's the phenomenon. That one's like really cool and interesting. It kind of does what his like group does to like summon the UFOs, but like
Yeah,
the footage from it is pretty wild. Like some of it's like really interesting footage. Um, but like
Ronnie LeBlanc does that at campouts, and I was actually going to ask you guys about that later about if you thought that'd be something you'd want us to do.
we can talk about that after.
Okay.
We can definitely talk about that after. Um,
Am I editing that part out?
no, just keep that in there.
You don't have to.
Yeah, just keep that in there. Little tease. um, so like talking about like caves, the cave systems and stuff, like what is down there in the underground. Like Houston said you had a story about an underground lake.
Sorry, it wasn't an underground lake, but it was something come out of lake. I
Oh.
misheard you when you were telling me that earlier, but yeah,
Right.
stuff that had come out of the lake.
There is an underground lake, an interesting underground lake that's on a local map from the Trail of Tears area, and it shows a fortified underground lake that's supposed to be in the area near where I've taken where I took you and you had your first encounter actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's probably within about a mile there.
Oh.
We're on the map. But the Native Americans, it was labeled as a fortified underground lake.
They
Fortified.
got into something when they were digging the stone quarry, right? Was that just like
Yeah.
it was some
They
kind
hit
of
a river.
current?
Yeah, they hit a
Okay.
river. Yeah.
Isn't that why that area, the little pond there,
Yep.
Yeah.
is filled in?
Yeah. If you go down about 100 feet, supposedly the current is so bad that it'll pull you in. So.
Ooh, that's freaky.
Yeah.
The Underdark scares me. Going into caves freaks me out to have that much earth above me. I think I've said that before on the show. Even though when Randy's taking me into like the smaller ones, I'm like, I don't want to be in here. Like everything in my fucking body is like, get out now. We are not dwarven.
I think my caving days are over too. No, I'm good.
I must have a lot of ancestors that were cave dwellers because I still like caves.
Real quick, I did see that they are 3 documentaries. The UFO Connection came out in 2022.
Oh, okay. It was a while ago then. I thought it just came out. It just started popping up on Prime, being like, "Hey,
I'm sure you guys know this, but I didn't.
Was it on Prime?
To rent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have a series, I guess, too, and so that there's like one that's came out every single year. It looks like since 2012. Well, it stopped in 2020, but there was one every year from, I guess, those 8 years.
They had a series? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it focuses on different regions. So like the first one was Eastern United States, and then it goes to
it probably goes through the book.
America, Canada, Montana. It may, yeah.
Yeah, I bet it does.
I remember reading the books for the first time, and like I'd read them at night and get so freaked out. I'd be like, I gotta stop. But of course, every now I'm like, I gotta read some more. They're freaky. They're really freaky. Any you know, we were talking about the Bigfoot at the Amazon facility, right? But like,
yeah,
someone said that they get when there's what's the base near you guys?
ADC, yeah.
Yeah, ADC. They have something that when they fire up, that the Squatch come in.
That's what Kumbo said.
That's
so.
I want to know what they got in there. What are they firing up?
I'm not sure if it was Kumbo that said that exactly, or if it was someone that Kumbo knows that works there.
There or something.
That told him that. Yeah.
When
they fire up whatever kind of, I don't know what it was, like particle accelerator or something that's down there, that the Squatches go crazy.
What if they're just trying to send the Squatch home to the other dimension?
There's not a particle accelerator there, is there?
I don't think so. I was just saying something,
not.
scientific that.
I was going to say those things.
I mean, it's a huge base. They could have
Yeah.
something down there. You never know it.
Just underground.
They go into the river.
That's where all my clones are coming from. So I always come back down and see. Come back to the source.
You were just like playing it in the military down here. Yep.
Oh. I don't know. The Squatch coming up close to buildings and like fucking around. It's kind of weird, but like, there's never any reports of them trying to get into the houses though.
Not like in town locally that I know of, but I've talked to people that said that there was one woman that was in a cabin. This is in the Smokies though, but she was in the cabin cleaning the cabin. What she did was clean the cabins, and said that one of these things walked into the bottom floor, like walked right in the door and stood there, and then saw her and took her right back out the door.
Well, she was cleaning the cabin.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like a 5 second. It was about 5 seconds total that she saw this thing, but just walks in the door,
crap.
sees her, shit, turns around, walks out.
And the one living under the crawl space.
Oh, that one creeps me out still.
That one
creeps me out because we heard that cough. I heard that cough that day, and that still creeps me out when I think about it.
That was the one by the when you own land, right?
Yep.
It's real close to you.
Yeah,
the guy
right down the road.
Kept reporting
and
he kept hearing something under his crawl space, and finally he didn't
he was coming home, and the crawl space. If you go back to me and Houston actually went up there one day and looked at to see what it looked like, and there's a big wooden door that goes on, attaches that you can open up and access the crawl space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he told the sheriff's deputies that he came home, or he'd been coming home for about a week, and something had kept opening this door. So he thought someone was prowling around. The day he came home and shot into this space, something had removed the door entirely off the thing, right? So he got down in there with a flashlight, said he saw something moving around, shot at it with a shotgun, and said that this big hairy thing crawled past him and out the fucking door. Because he was in there with a shotgun.
That's fucking terrifying.
He sold the property like a month and a half later. I mean, dude had been up there for years. A month and a half later, gone.
Yeah. My favorite part was like he was coming home every day and like just unloading into his crawl space.
He was just shooting underneath every night, wasn't he?
Yeah. Bam. And then after that happened, he would come in and just put the shotgun in there and just let him load.
Jesus.
So it's a like little grandmotherly couple that now own it.
Just fucking get these boogers off my property.
Sure, they have no idea what's going on.
Crawled past him.
Yeah, crawled past him in the crawl space to get out.
Oh, so that thing came at him,
right? Like it wasn't just like
they said it just like that, like
hurried out.
Ooh, and it was big.
So, and then when that happened, he called the cops. I'll tell that part of the story. He called the cops. The sheriff's department showed up there, 3 of them, went down the road that Gatto owns property on, came onto their property with flashlights and guns drawn.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, what in the hell? That's not even legal to just be walking around with your guns drawn like that on someone's private property. And they were like, well, we were following somebody down here. And they're like, what do you mean you were following somebody down here? And they told him the whole story, what just happened up there, that it crawled out and it came down this way, he said. So
Gatto's out there in a tent.
Right.
Oh, does he still stay up there pretty often?
He goes up there about every 2 weeks now. He got robbed a while back. Like, I mean, they took all of his solar panels, everything. And it just kind of, took the wind out of his sails there for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
you've got to live when you're up there. You cannot leave anything on a property up there in that region unless you're living up there full time with a gun. They call that whole area up there, we found out after the fact, no man's land, because it's part of a county that you can only access by going through another county. You can't even access it via being in the county you're in. You literally have to leave a county and go into either Warren County or Sequatchie County, and then go back into Van Buren County to get to this area of the county.
Oh,
It's so remote. Like it's just nothing's out there but
I mean,
woods.
it is kind of out there.
And that and our properties are up against 3,500 acres of Rocky River Gorge. So there's nothing.
Have you been up there, Josh?
Yeah, went up to Gatos area, and then like Randy's just down the road, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've been up there. It's a nice little piece of land he's got there.
Yeah.
I will say.
Yeah, because we took you to the Trail of Tears crossing site.
Yeah.
We were down here last time. Yeah.
Uh,
That was where we saw the buff handsome Mennonite guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you were there on that one?
Yeah.
I can't remember anything anymore, man.
Randy, when you were staying up there, like, did you have any wild stuff?
Dude, we had several things happen while we were up there.
Like anything that was just like, whoa.
Like the second day we were up there, that we stayed up there, we came out the front door one day, and me and Nova and Ian were like, we're gonna go hiking, and turned around, started down a hill, and right across the gravel road from us, from where the cabin was, there was 3 wood knocks. Like, I mean, blatant whack, whack, whack. Every one of us heard them, and it was like, okay, they're out here. Like, he's letting them know that, like, they're going into the woods. 3 of them, because there was 3 3 knocks, 3 of us.
Yeah.
Where I took it. And then a couple of nights later, Nova went to go, because we were using an outhouse.
Yeah.
Nova went to go use the outhouse at like 2:00 in the morning, came back, and she said as she's getting in bed, she woke me up and she said, "Did you hear any of that?" And I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" And she's like, "What lives up here that sounds like in her words, and she never curses, fucking dinosaur?" Because she said, I got back in the cabin, and she said something walked past the cabin and I could hear it taking steps.
Oh.
And she's just been out in the dark with it.
Yeah. So it means he was definitely watching her.
Yeah. And there was another day we were up there, and the day I remember this, I think it was December the 7th, I think, of that year. This would have been 2018. But the way I know the date is it was whatever date it was that Into the Spider-Verse came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was that Saturday. So that movie came out the day before, and and Ian wanted to go see it really bad. And so we were out there on the property, and we had just gotten there. I just went and picked up Ian, and we pulled up, get out, and Nova had caught this feral cat where she worked, and we brought it up on the land to stay with our other cats.
Yeah.
And his name was Jake, big black cat. And so I was telling Ian, I'm like, we got a new cat named Jake, and he usually kind of hangs out over there in the blackberry bush. And there's a blackberry bush next to a little pond. And Ian runs over to the blackberry bush, and he says, "Can I run to the other?" He says, "Can I go to the other side?" Because there's like a big dirt area on the other side of the pond.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Sure." And on the other side of that pond, it's just a hill that goes down into a creek bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And that creek bottom encircles our entire property. So he runs to the other side of where that pond is, gets over there, and he's looking for the cat. And down in the creek bottom, something goes, "Yee-haw!" like that. And something down the fucking creek bottom goes, "Yee-haw!" And then something down the creek bottom goes, "Yee-haw!" And then farther down the creek bottom, something does it, but it does it like 5 octaves lower. Like this loud, deep, and I've never heard a fucking deer make that sound. I've never heard anything else make that sound. I don't know it was Bigfoot making that sound, but it really felt like there's 4 of them sitting down the creek bottom in little, separated from each other. And they were like, basically being like, hey, we're here. Hey, I'm over here. Hey, I'm over here. Hey, I'm over here.
Fucking deep voice SWAT.
I think that it was that is we live right across the road from a huge, or at least what used to be. Now the Mennonites are buying all the property up and developing it. And when I say developing it, I mean they're turning it into beautiful farmland. But there it was back then. It was a huge hunting lease, and this would have been in December during hunting season. And I can tell you right now, what's going to happen if a deer on that side of the hunting lease gets shot at? It's going to run off that hunting lease and go for the wood line, and it's then going to hit a creek bottom and try to run that creek bottom to get away from its perceived enemy as quickly as possible. And who just happens to be hanging down in those creek bottoms?
Little Denisovans.
They're sitting down. I mean, I swear that's what it sounded like. It felt like was they were like basically being like, "Hey, yeah, I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm over here, and I'm over here." Like it felt weirdly appreciative. With like Ian was over there, they could have never done anything.
Yeah, that's true.
No sound would have had to have come out of them. That would have never went down there in the creek bottom looking. None of that. So that after that I literally told Ian, I'm like, get back in the car. We got immediately back in the car, came all the way back to town, went to Gar's comic book shop, and sat at his shop until it was time to go to the matinee to go watch Into the Spider-Verse.
Dang. Were there any minor occurrences around your property during that time?
Well, we found a footprint. We found a footprint up on the wood line. Like a lot of our woods is white pine.
Mm-hmm.
It's where they replanted it after they had done like really bad strip mining in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And the interior of our property is all old oak wood and stuff like that because it's a creek bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted that creek bottom. It's like the kind of creek bottom I grew up on. So like the footprint that we found was right at the other side of the white pines. So it was like it came up the creek bottom, stopped at the white pines, and was watching the cabin. What it gave the impression of. And there was another time too. Now that I'm thinking of it, because Nova talks about this sometimes, but she likes to think it was a bear.
Okay.
We were cooking over an open fire on the property. And we've been out there about 2 hours in the dark. That's the only light we had, was the
keep the
fire
going.
And suddenly this overwhelming stench just rolls in, and it wasn't polecat, wasn't skunk, nothing musky like that. It smelled like rotten garbage and feet, like just rancid smelling.
Mm-hmm.
And like Nova's like, what could that be? And I'm like, well, you know what I think it is. And she's like, well, it could be a bear too, right? And I'm like, it could be. But I mean, I've never heard of a bear smelling like that. I've smelled bear before, like at the zoos, and I'm sure a wild bear smells worse, I'm sure. But like bears at zoos have a kind of musky scent to them, This didn't smell like that. This was rancid smelling. And I've always wondered if it was one of the big ones. I called him Stinky Pete. If Stinky Pete was coming in and like, getting an awful.
Like checking you guys out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no one up there until like you and Catman moved in there.
We were the first ones up there besides that guy that sold his property because that happening.
Yeah.
We were the first ones up there. Then Gato moved in. They had stuff happen down there. Like I think I told you about Osborne saying that it sounded like kids were playing out in the campsite one night.
He had one. I remember Catman told me the story of he showed up to the property and Osborne was packing up all his stuff to leave, and he was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I came out of the tent, and one was just standing there staring at the tent."
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
like
About
freaked him
30
out.
feet away.
Yeah.
He showed us the tree that it was. He said it was standing half behind that tree, and he said that he showed us the tree, and if it was as big as he said it was at least 7.5, 8 foot tall.
Jesus.
But they've also on Gato's property. They've had what they called the owl goose or the goose owl.
The goose owl.
And they've heard something walking the side of the ridge, like literally heard it walking the ridge. There was 3 of them out there. They were with our friend Alan at the time, and they hear this thing walking up the ridge where it's loud enough they can hear it, and it stops. And Gato says he goes like, "We can hear you," and he said it goes, "Hoo hoo 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 honk," like like a goose. He said it literally went from an owl into a goose. Like, and he's like, because they were like, they asked me, they're like, do owls or geese do that? And I'm like, we don't do that.
That's creepy then. Yeah, well, always like when you guys moved up there, I was like something weird, something wild's gonna happen. Something.
Well, one of the reasons we brought the property up there was because
Was-
we thought, this should be perfect. So
Was there any moment that you were up there and you were thinking like maybe this wasn't a good idea
no,
because of the
not
switch?
at all. I never got a bad vibe. But look, I'm a crazy person. When we first moved up there, you can ask Nova. I walked around the woods one day, when literally speaking out loud, and I was like, "Hey guys, I know you live out here. Like we just moved in. We don't mean any harm. Blah blah blah. We don't mean you guys we respect you guys and blah blah blah." I mean, I was just open about it. Like,
Yeah.
and we never had anything bad happen. And I seriously wonder if that's why when Ian went over to that one side, they sounded off the way they did. Is because they were like, fine, tell the kid we're over here.
Yeah.
Like,
over here.
Yeah, don't walk down here.
Scare the shit out of you. But that's like a lot of them nearby. It's like, what is the population? These.
No, well, that Gato can tell you. We were up at the primary site once. I used to be like vehemently, completely convinced that we were dealing with maybe 3 or 4, maybe, because we had heard 3 of them, would knock at each other and at us, and then we were up there one day, and dude, we knocked, and one knocks, and then another knocks, and then another knocks, and then another knocks, and they do this in a freaking circle around the entire area where we are, and there's 8 of them. 8 completely separate knocks, all of them sounding. One of them was farther off, and that's the one that watches that one trail.
Mm-hmm.
That one, Houston, take that out.
Beep.
There's one that hangs out on that other trail that's near our trail, and he's a little farther off. But like during that, when they all 8 went off, like that one over there went off too. Like, so that's completely made me rethink, like, how many are you dealing with in a family unit when you're dealing with these things?
That has always been my question, and the travel and stuff. And I mean, as we dug into it, and you're like the travel ways through the river bottoms and stuff like that, all the riverways that they use as these, like, as we think, Squatch highways, like how they have to be in communication with other family units in some way.
Yeah, they are. They have to be. They have to be. I hate to say this because it sounds crazy. I genuinely wonder if the Sasquatch in this region know us. And I mean, like, all of them know us. And that sounds crazy. But, like, there are things that happen in our primary site that have happened up on, I'll just say Cardwell. I don't care if you keep that in there or not. It happened over on Ben Lomond.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, where there's been threatening things happened in those other areas. They're chill. When we do have stuff happen, it seems pretty chill.
Yeah.
And I really do wonder if it's like communicating, if they've been communicating along, going down the ridge line, because if you follow that whole mountain, it all connects. And they just communicate that, like, yeah, oh yeah, we've dealt with that dumbass too. You know, like
They're like, there's 4 of them.
yeah,
They
they come
keep-
out in the woods and knock on the trees all the time. And
Just knock back. He'll leave you alone.
yeah, knock back and they'll leave in about an hour.
It's 2 big ones and 2 small ones.
Yep. That means they'd have stories of Catman going after that one that spider crawled.
Yeah. They tell the story of Catman.
Our boogeyman.
Yeah. They call him Catman. That's all we heard.
It's
The
a little
humans
weird
say.
when it's got ears and he just comes after you when you're in the woods. And
Yeah, I wonder what they think of that with Catman.
they tell their kids that
The Catman will get you.
the gato will get you. Yeah.
That will get you. Oh.
That's the man, like rite of patches. That's when you become a man, when you just like go and you mess with Catman and run back.
I
Show
hope
no
that's what
care.
it is. They're throwing
He's going to be
rocks at
so
him.
happy listening to this right now.
But yeah, that's interesting, man. It's what I've always like. There has to be some connection between all the groups, like the family units that we're dealing with.
Yeah. There has to be, and especially if these things are archaic humans of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be, which is crazy. That means there's an entire culture going on. Like, right,
We're going to watch the Spider-Verse.
and we have no clue about any of it.
Yeah, we ignore it. It's interesting. But August 16th, you come hear stories from the other side. Join us for the Wild Man 2025 Wild Man and Cryptid convention. Crypticon, yeah.
If you're listening to this, it's less than a month away.
It is less than a month away.
No, it's a month from tomorrow.
Month from, yeah.
Like the people listening.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're right.
as of
yeah,
recording,
yeah.
yeah. It's a month from tomorrow as of recording. Come and join us. Eventbrite tickets in the description below. Take your link there. Yeah, come out. We got a great lineup of guests. If you've been consistently listening to this podcast, you're probably tired of hearing me talk about this. But we have a great vendor hall that we've expanded to the 2nd floor. We got some cool. We have special guests that aren't. I guess they're just kind of cryptids in their own right.
Like cryptid celebrities of their own right.
Yeah.
Like Janice Carter is going to be there.
Oh yeah.
Is one of
Legend.
your special guests.
She's a legend. But we also have some fun guests too that are the Moss Man.
Yes. Oh man, you put me on the spot.
Yeah, I put you on the spot. Sorry.
Freeman's his last name.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name.
Mossman Treeman.
Scufflemoss.
Scufflemoss.
Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some cool folks, a lot of great vendors, a lot of great speakers, and also our own little Bigfoot celebrity row going on. You can come out and talk to them. Hear some great stories from the speakers.
We got several podcasts going to be there.
Yeah.
Many of them are going to be open to taking your crazy sightings and stuff.
Yeah.
Your encounters.
If you've had encounters, you can talk to.
When I say crazy, I don't mean you're crazy, people. I mean like
Look,
crazy as in
we're,
like
we're crazy too, because we're looking for it. I say crazy to this as a term of endearment to this community.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah,
we're all crazy trying to do this, trying to figure this out. Come out, meet us, talk to us, tell us if you've encountered stuff. Every time we've had the convention, I have always enjoyed meeting all our guests coming to the convention, all our attendees coming in, and getting to talk to them, and getting told some wild encounter stories from some people, just being like, I don't know who to tell this to. You know, like, that's a lot of people. It's like, I don't know where I would tell anyone about this. But yeah, come on out, join us. The last 2 years have been great. Come join a bunch of like-minded people just to have fun. Yeah, but we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening. Peace.
See ya.